Okay, the question is are we live? Oh,
We're live now.
bam. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to an edition of Chamber Talk with Torrie, sponsored by the Boardman Chamber of Commerce. We're kind of laughing because we've been sitting here having massive technical difficulties. We have done this twice. This is third take. Here we are, but we're live, and it actually says we're live. And I think I have staff that actually is going to check and see if it is live. So that's exciting. Here we are, Devin. We made it, right? So Devin Bailey is here with me with Edwards Jones, and he is going to talk about how individuals and families can navigate the financial planning, retirement preparation, long-term investments, and personalize that relationship and to get the best out of your financial future through this relationship with Devin, and we're going to talk about it. So Devin, thank you very much. I have yet to say the same thing twice at all. So welcome today. Thank you for joining me. So let's just get started. Let's talk about introduce yourself and how you got here. You have quite the background discussion. I know that I've worked with you in another position that you had here at the Sage Center with us. And what led you down this financial investment industry, and what inspired you to work with Edwards Jones?
Yeah, the second time around, I can think of things that I wish I would have said the first time. So just a little bit about me. I'm a hometown kid, born and raised in Stanfield, K through 12. Went to college at EOU. Did a brief stint in Tri-Cities as a lab. Worked in a lab. Wasn't for me. I'm not a lab rat. And then
I never even thought of that. Knew that.
Then I found my way to education for the last 9 years. The last 3 being here in Morrow County. Teaching Morrow County students K through 6.
Yes. And
it was a great time. It just happened to be my brother-in-law was an advisor, and I knew the other 2 advisors in the office, and they took me out to lunch and had me switch industries. But I love it. I love being your own boss. And building a business has been a grind, but it's been fun. But yeah, it took me to this world, which I love helping people. Mm-hmm. I love building relationships. Mm-hmm. I love being in the community, growing money, all the above. Check. And
talking to people.
Yeah, talking to people a lot. That's what I do all day.
All day. Yes, he does, and he does a great job at that. Let's just get started into this. If someone doesn't fully understand financial advisors, and how would you describe your role and what that looks like to those families and individuals for their future?
So we fit in different capacities because each person is different. There's no one size fits all at Edward Jones. I mean, it really, hopefully at any firm, but you'll see us everywhere because an office is everywhere because we like to bring Wall Street to Main Street was the original motto.
Cool.
It's a really good one. And so we and that's what brought me here is the other 3 advisors had too many clients and we needed to pass them down to someone because once you get over a threshold of households, it's hard to serve people correctly. Mm-hmm. And so that's where I came in. And so then I'm also building on top of that. But what do? We take your situation, whether it be saving for education, retirements, estate planning, financial planning in general, anything like that. I get to know you because if I don't know who you are, I don't know what to do with your money because I don't know how you feel about money, what's the goal of the money, or anything like that. And so really each person's different. It could be saving, like I said, retirement, education. I get to the root and then try to come up with a solution, and if we feel like we'll work together, we work together, and if not, you just leave my office and don't come back.
Yeah. When we're talking about the people that follow the chamber and stuff like that, they're kind of in that transition period of where they're starting to have kids, and their kids are like 5 to 8 to 10 years old. That is a big piece in that financial piece. I did an investment. You did investments in your kids too. What's that investment look like, and what's that called, and how impactful is that for people to start now?
Yeah. So what you're talking about is the 529, which is a savings plan for education. Mm-hmm. And the nice thing about it is you put in the money and it grows tax-free. So when your child has books or they have tuition or things along those lines that they need to pay for, the money you've put in plus the growth, which compound interest is very nice. It's all tax-free, and it gives your kid that head start. Whether, like, I don't want to pay for my whole kid's school, but we started putting in as soon as they got Social Security numbers. We made them with my brother-in-law, who was my advisor at the time. Now I'm my own advisor, but got them started young. So in the first month, they had their first $50, and we had $50, and then family adds it because it is a tax credit for the state of Oregon also, which is nice.
Yes.
And so it builds up, and then when they go to school, they have that tax-free. And like we talked about before, if, let's say, you have 3 kids and the first one decides not to go to school, well, you can pass it down to the second one, and now they have double.
Right.
And so it's not like you lose the money or anything like that, and it's just a great way to give your kids, if you don't want to pay for it all, that's okay. Just like me, I want to give them a start, and then after that, I hope they find their way.
Yeah, it really does. It's an opportunity to take a burden off of a family later on when kids are starting to have cars and, you know, they're all going to school or they need the clothes or, you know, just life in general gets expensive, especially nowadays. The cost of living is so high that it's a big barrier reducer for kids these days going to college or even trade schools. It is good for trade schools too.
And actually, they just changed it to where you can use it for some K-12 expenses if there is some sort of expenses. Mainly, I think it's more tailored towards, like, if your kid's going to a private school. But I know me personally, my kids go to Stanfield, and when they go to college, they'll have that little chunk to help them out.
I like it. So, you know, this stuff is, for a lot of people, they talk about, oh, I really want to invest, but it's it really is overwhelming, and it's a daunting thing to start thinking about. But then you talk to somebody that's done it. You know, I've known people that have been investing for years, and they just have this huge nest egg, and you're like, why didn't I do that sooner? What does that look like, and how do people start planning and thinking about that, and how do you get them into that conversation and get them through that overwhelming moment?
Sometimes the hardest part is just getting through the door.
Yes.
And getting over that. And like I said, the only reason I really knew about this gig and knew about investing is because my brother-in-law was a financial advisor. If not, I don't know if I would have. I really don't. I can't tell now. But what that did is right off the bat, I was teaching, and he's like, well, that's great, you'll have this and this, but maybe we supplement with a Roth. Things like that. The hardest part is getting through the door. The nice thing about working with me or any of the advisors in my office, you come and you sit down and you go through your situation, and we go, well, I guess there's not a lot I can do. You're just going to keep pumping your 401k with your employer. It doesn't sound like we want to do anything extra. Right. And it's not like I'm like, all right, you need to pay me before you leave. To just talk with us, it doesn't cost anything to talk with us. If we ever go into business, there's obviously, as much as I want to work for free, there's when you invest. The nice thing about it is the way the industry's kind of went is in that fiduciary capacity. So the more money I make for you, the more money I make. The less money I make for you, the less money you make.
Right. So they're not monthly out of pocket expenses to you. It's actually pulled out of the investment portion of it, not an upfront expense.
Correct. Yeah, you're not writing a check to us or anything like that. It's just getting pulled out of whatever we're investing in. But yeah, some of the hardest things to do is just get through the door, and it's not a lot of people like to talk about money or talk about death or talk about all that stuff, and that's part of our job is talking money, talking about some of the not the funnest conversations. But it's good to be prepared. It's good to be prepared.
Yeah. And so when you're talking about that stuff, you can really get down to the goals of what they are, the comfort levels of types of investments and stuff like that. What's that look like when you create that portfolio for them? Yeah,
when we're really sitting down and planning, we're going through tendencies with money. We're going through what is your priority? What does retirement look like? Like, is it golf every day? And some of us think that's what's going to happen, and then you get after about the 5th round, you're like, okay, I kind of bored of this. Me personally, in my head, I see golf all the time. When I retire, I hope. But we go through, what are your goals? Are you going to buy a boat when you retire? Are you going to move when you retire?
Where are you going to
do this? Yeah, where are you going to go? How much is that going to cost?
Exactly.
Budgeting for this. Going through, okay, what are our assets? What's our 401k at our employer? Do we have any? And going through assets, liabilities, goals. Do we want to leave anything? Do we want to donate to charities?
How many kids do we have?
How many kids do we have? Like, what the big priorities? Like,
Yeah.
what moves you? And so we go through all that. It's not just money, money, money. It's how do you feel about risk? But really, our goal page, it goes through how much you need in retirement. It goes through medical things, but then it's like wedding. Oh, do you have a daughter that you really want to pay for the wedding in a bit?
Right.
So you set a goal for that, and all these different aspects of your life and we're not going to get them all.
No.
We're not, but that's
Right.
why when we go through what's called Money Guide, which is our planning tool, it is an evolving document. It's going to change. It's going to change.
Right.
And that's
Yeah.
the beauty of it.
So you want to talk about change. We all love to have multiple jobs these days. You know, us millennials like to bounce around. I think I'm on job 3 or 4. And you have those 401ks and stuff like that. Can you help them prioritize and simplify that financial accounts, and what's the value of doing that?
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do is consolidation, personally for myself, and then helping clients too, because I've had a few jobs, and now I have everything consolidated in my Edward Jones, besides obviously my workplace 401k, which eventually, technically it's with Edward Jones, but that's because I work there. But consolidation, old 401ks laying around, you want to check them, make sure if you don't consolidate that they're actually being invested, not sitting in cash and just
Right.
not taking advantage of the market.
Yep.
But yeah, what usually happens, and again, it's one of those. A lot of people don't want to call the 401k company on their own. So we set up an appointment. You come in. We both call the 401k company. We get it rolled over, and then we take all 3 of your old 401ks. We put them into one,
Yep.
and then we go from there. But yeah, old 401ks is kind of our bread and butter, personally, starting
Yes.
out,
Yep.
because consolidation is, in my opinion, it's key, because not only is it nice to have all the money in one place, but as far as estate goes
Yes.
and beneficiaries
Yep.
and things like that, we can make sure if you're with me, hey, we got beneficiaries, everything's good, because last thing you want is to pass away without beneficiaries, because it just gets really messy.
Yep.
It's really messy.
Or people don't even know you have an investment, and there's money sitting out there that your family could be utilizing or doing something with,
Yeah.
that they just don't even know exists.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we talked about this. So then, what is the value of having these check-ins and continue this relationship? It's really important to continue to monitor your financial planning. So how does that program look, and what kind of service do you provide those people as they go through their story of life these days?
Mm-hmm. So when you work with me, you're looking at least one yearly review. And what that review is for, or any other time we touch base, is one, to see if there's been any changes. Has there been inheritance? Has someone got sick? Have things changed? Have our goals changed? Priorities? Maybe you picked up pickleball and you're like, I don't really want to golf in retirement. I'm just going to play pickleball every day.
Right.
So we change our goals, things like that. But also rebalancing, because for the most part, depending on what you're invested in, they're going to slowly shift, and it might get too aggressive from what you actually wanted, or it might get not as aggressive enough from what you wanted, based on market shifts. And so you'll be rebalancing not only your goals, but also what you're invested in.
Perfect. So we talked about relationship, and you have a great relationship and build in the community. How does local relationship-based service model help you create the long-term connection with clients that you have? And I know that you've been a part of the Boardman Chamber, you attend our events, you're part of all the chambers across the region. That's huge for us. One, we can support you, and 2, you can support us. What's that look like for you? And
Well, I think the big thing is we have 3 generations in 4 generations in Stanfield, and I'm not going anywhere. And so, in all reality, my little office is probably going to be my office for the next 20, 25 years.
Right.
And so, with technology has allowed us to where we can branch out, and I can work with people anywhere in the United States,
yeah,
which is really nice. But in all reality, this is my home.
Right.
And the more I can help people, whether it's through the school board, coaching, the chambers, or doing this, like helping people reach retirement and take the cloudiness out of, can I retire? I don't know if I could retire. Well, if you don't know, like, let's sit down, let's go through Money Guide, let's get it planned out, and go from there, because it just removes those barriers. Or sometimes we have to have that difficult conversation of, we're not going to reach our goals unless maybe we need to bump up our contribution to our 401k by 4%, or things like that. Some of the conversations are difficult, but I'm helping people in my community get to where they want to go. And like I said, I'm here the rest of my life, and so the more people I can help, the better.
Right. Born and raised, the best thing is to give back to your community, make it better than it was when you grew up in it. And so all you're doing is helping those families make it better from when we were younger to where we are today. I love it. So if you are unsure, how do you get somebody and meet for the first time, what would you say to encourage them to take this first step? If you had one thing you could tell somebody right now, to every listener that's out here that's thinking about it, how do you think you can get them to step in that door and have that first conversation with them?
One, reach out. We have, like, the secretaries, our branch office administrators are the nicest ladies ever. They'll get you on the schedule, and then let's see, if you don't have a plan, get a plan. Whether that's a plan to have your college money for your kid, whether that's a plan for you to retire, whatever it is. If you have questions, and it doesn't hurt, you can just call me and ask me a question too. Like, my information's online. You guys can click on it. Looks like there's a link too.
Yep.
But don't be shy. I get a lot of, well, I don't think I'm ready. Well, nobody's ready.
Right.
Nobody's ready for a lot of things in life, but my big thing is everybody's day one is different. Right. Some people, I have 20-year-old clients. I have 72-year-old clients that I'm like, oh, we really need to lock this in.
Yes.
But everybody's day one is different, and you just got to get started. As soon as you get started, you have that clear vision. You're going to feel a lot better about. Some people, you get to tell them, like, you are way on track. Like,
right.
This is awesome. Like, you will be, maybe you can retire a couple years earlier.
Early, yeah.
Some people, again, that conversation isn't as fun. But everybody's day one is different is the big thing.
Yeah. And $5 a month or $5 a week is one coffee. You know, one day out of the week that's a coffee. You know, so you start thinking about what that dollar value is, and can you take it out of your daily lifestyle, and can you invest it into your long-term life later on? Is that value worth it? And that's kind of the thing. I even thought about it. You know, I do $5 a week into my son's education deal, and I don't even know about it anymore. And it just sits there, and the next thing you know, you look and you go, dang, that dollar went somewhere instead of going into a coffee that's wasted that I don't really need at the end of the day. So those are kind of things that somebody can think about too. That's how I think about it.
Yeah, being a dad of three, like, we have enough toys.
Right.
We have enough toys at the house.
We need that other one.
So that $25, $50 going into $529 for 16 years, that's kind of nice.
It's kind of nice. Yeah, you do those simple little maths of $10 a week, you know, for how many weeks in a year. You know, it adds up at the end of the day, and it's great. And then you get the interest, and then when the market hits hot, it really makes a difference in that. And if you can play the market, and that's what you're here for them.
Yeah. We are here to, in all reality, obviously it is the market, and it's going to have its ups, it's going to have its downs, and depending on how you feel, it's going to have its bigger ups and its bigger downs.
Yes.
But in all reality, I'm here to build relationships and grow money is my goal.
Perfect. I love it. So as you can see in the comments, you can see ways to connect with Devin Bailey at the Edwards Jones office, or he has I think you have a social media page as well that's connected to this in the comments. And we're always here at the Boardman Chamber to direct you to get in contact with Devin as well. And I just want to say thank you to everybody today for sitting here and listening about this conversation. I'm super excited to be back into having Chamber Talks with Torrie and providing this information to our community and our members. And that being said, just follow our social medias to learn more about upcoming stuff or rewatch this video. Share it with your people, share it with your families. If somebody's talked about it, share it with them as well. And you can always rewatch these episodes on the Boardman Chamber of Commerce's YouTube channel. And that being said, just have a wonderful day, everybody. Go and invest in yourself and in your future. And that's my tag for Devin today. And we'll see you next time on Chamber Talk with Torrie.
Thank you.